Welcome to the Parker Lord Sign webinar series. My name is Angela Zampanini, and I'm the Northeast Regional Sales Manager for Performance Materials. I've been working in the sign industry for almost 7 years, and I'm a proud member of the ISA Elite 2020 class, as well as a board of director for the Northern States Sign Association. Sign shops work on a number of different jobs and have endless applications, but one thing nearly all sign shops seem to manufacture are channel letters. So today, I want to give a step-by-step guide on how to assemble channel letters using Lord structural adhesives. Bonding channel letters can be a beneficial alternative to welding or using rivets to manufacture channel letters. Some of the benefits include reducing manufacturing time and manufacturing costs, as well as improving the sealing and long-term durability. With that said, let's take a look at our agenda for today. First, we'll go over the products recommended for both traditional channel letters as well as reverse lit channel letters and the typical surface prep involved. Then we'll go step by step on how to assemble a channel letter, including the trim cap. So I want to encourage everyone to join the live conversation using hashtag #BondSigns, or you can follow us at @Lord Corporation and @Yorston & Associates on Twitter. Here's an overview of the steps we'll cover for how to assemble a channel letter. First, you'll select your adhesive. Next, you'll prep your parts for assembly, as well as prepare the adhesive. And then after that, you'll assemble the letter face before finishing with assembling and securing the trim cap. So let's get started with step one. These are the Lord adhesives recommended for bonding channel letters. When bonding a metal channel letter, you'll want to use a Lord acrylic adhesive, which is used for bonding to bare metal. There isn't much of a performance difference between the Lord 400 series and the SignLock 400 series, but there are a couple added benefits of the SignLock 400 series that make sign manufacturers prefer them. Unlike the Lord 400 series, the SignLock 400 series comes with 2 free mix tips per cartridge instead of 1, and all SignLock products fit the same gun. They also have extended shelf lives over the Lord branded products. But both the Lord 400 series as well as the SignLock 400 series are UL 746 approved. If your channel letter parts are primed or painted or are plastic, you may want to consider the 7542 and the 7545, which are urethane-based adhesives. The 7542 is by far the more popular product because of its UL 746 approval and its lower viscosity, which makes it a lot easier to flow into tighter tolerances or smaller parts. We understand that the size of your channel letters can vary greatly, ranging from channel letters that can fit on a sheet of paper to channel letters that cover an entire table. For that, Lord Corporation manufactured these products with multiple cure speeds to give you options when you need something to go maybe a little faster, or when you have large parts and maybe need a little bit more time to work with them. The benefit of the Lord 400 series is you have the option of the 410, which gives you about a 20 to 30 minute time to work with your parts before the adhesive starts to set. Now, the 7542 and the 7545 also have multiple cure speeds, but as you can see in the slide, the benefit of the 7545 is a much wider variety of cure speeds, ranging all the way from 2 minutes to work with your parts, all the way up to 40 minutes. The last product way at the far end on the right, the 7610 DTM. DTM stands for direct to metal. This can be used for both metal and plastic channel letters, but it's used primarily as a sealer on the bottom or the inside of a channel letter. It comes in a 10-ounce tube and it fits a standard caulking gun. You just apply it like you would any caulk or silicone sealant. Reverse lit channel letters typically require optically clear or bright white adhesives. For these types of channel letters, we have the 7550, the 7555, and the 7610 DTM. The bond for the 7550 and the 7610 DTM products typically aren't structural, so it's best to check with us first on how much strength you need when assembling your reverse lit channel letters if you want to go with these products. As stated in the previous slide, the 7610 DTM is a single component seam sealer. The difference with the 7550 and the 7555, these are 2 component adhesives. The 7550 is optically clear, and the 7550 is a bright white, just like the 7610 DTM. But all of these products retain their color when exposed to UV light, so you don't have to worry about yellowing over time if they're exposed to UV. When using adhesives, you always want to make sure your parts are clean. At a minimum, we recommend a dry rag wipe, but we'd really prefer you to use a solvent wipe like IPA, isopropyl alcohol, or even acetone. In some cases, you may need to scuff, but again, it's best to check with us first. So after you clean your parts, it's time to assemble and fixture them. You can use something like tape, as shown in the picture, but customers also use nails to hold the parts in place, especially when the channel letters are very large. Once you have the letter assembled and all your parts are fixtured in place, it's time to prep the adhesive and dispense it. So this is step 3. Step 3 will really determine if you're setting yourself up for failure or for success. More often than not, the plungers of your cartridge are not level, as you can see all the way at the left. That's because when we fill our cartridges, we fill each side separately at our plant, so they're not always exactly even. You have to make sure that you level your plungers before you dispense any adhesive on your parts, which you can do by dispensing some of the material without the mix tip until you see both sides coming out evenly. Next, what you're going to do is put the mix tip on and dispense some of the material about the length of the mix tip just to ensure that you have a good mix. This will ensure the product is on ratio, and which is important because if it's not, the adhesive won't cure properly and it could result in poor adhesion. If you'd like more help with leveling your plungers and loading a cartridge into a dispensing gun, be sure to check our YouTube channel for a video on exactly how to do this. Now, you should always check to make sure that the product is on ratio or that you have a good mix. There are 2 ways that you can do this. You can do this by looking for color irregularities, such as this example here in the middle. Or what you can do is dispense some of the adhesive on the side and then use a tongue depressor or whatever tool you have nearby to ensure that it's hardening up. You just kind of swirl the 2 parts together and help them to cure. Now, once the plungers are leveled and you check the mix of your adhesive, you can dispense your adhesive and then mate your parts, making sure that you're careful of the open time of the product that you selected. The bigger your letters, the more handling time you'll need as well. So be sure to always check your handling time too, just to ensure that you're keeping your parts clamped long enough to build enough handling strength. You can always refer to our tech data sheet as a really good place to start when trying to determine what your open time or how long you have to work with your parts is and how long you have to keep them clamped. Now it's time to assemble the letter face. So first, what you want to do is dispense the adhesive along the entire seam, ensuring you have a continuous flow. What you don't want to do is leave gaps because these will serve as leak points in your channel letter. After you cover the entire seam, you're going to follow it with a tongue depressor or a putty knife just to smooth out the adhesive and increase your surface area on both the face and the sides. And then really that's it. The final step is to assemble and secure your trim cap. For this application, we really only have one adhesive since the product needs to be optically clear. This is our 7550 urethane adhesive, as I mentioned previously, for reverse lit channel letters. You'll want to follow the same steps to set up the adhesive as you do for assembling the letter face. Make sure to clean your parts, then level the plungers, as well as check the ratio of your adhesive. The 7550 parts are both clear. If you want to check that you have a good mix, you'll have to dispense some adhesive on the side and mix it with a tongue depressor to ensure that it's hardening up, since you can't really look for any color irregularities with a product that's clear. Once your parts are cleaned and the adhesive is prepped, it's time to assemble and hold the trim cap in place. Most customers do this using nails, as pictured to the left. Once everything is set in place, apply the 7550 along the entire seam. Again, we want to make sure that we're applying the adhesive the whole way through and not stopping in between and leaving gaps. Gaps, again, will result in potential leak points for the trim cap. Once you're done applying throughout the entire seam, you want to make sure to not forget to close up the trim cap. So just bonding, a little piece at the top or the bottom, wherever you started and stopped, just to make sure that you close that gap. So now your channel letter is officially complete. So at this point, just set both of those parts off to the side until they both reach enough handling strength, or until they're fully cured, which is 24 hours. If you'd like more information or you'd like to talk with us privately, you can reach out to us on our hotline, 1-877-ASK-LORD, or you can start a chat box via IM on lord.com/sign. Be sure to also follow us on social media for the latest tips and tricks, information, videos, and much more.